Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. If you're returning, hello. So for those of you that have been following my social work journey, you're going to be like, oh, you've decided to post 4 months later since my last video, but I'm going to get into all of that in this video. But hello YouTube family, I have missed you guys. I've missed filming. But yeah, let's get straight into this video. Okay, so let me start off this video with a positive. So your girl has finished her ASYE. Yes, I finished in October. So maybe like 3 weeks after I was supposed to finish. I was meant to finish the middle of September, but I ended up finishing in October because of burnout. But I will get into that. But yes, I have finished my ASYE. The journey is over. I don't have to do any more writing. I don't have to do any more logs. It's over! I finished! My ASYE journey is done. Your girl has passed, finished, got my certificate, won the t-shirt. It's done. But I just wanted to come and give a little reflection of how I think my ASYE went. And I think it was actually good. I mean, in my video with Daniela a couple months back, there was like a little debate between us because I felt that 1 year was too long and she said that she thought 1 year was actually quite a good time frame to do the ASYE in. And reflecting now that I have finished, I do think a year was a good time frame to do the ASYE in, because where I started when I started my role to where I am now, like I've just grown, I've developed, I've blossomed. I've really, you know, become more skilled in areas that I wouldn't necessarily have an opportunity to gain skills in. For example, in the national minimum standards, learning a bit more about fostering, and my report writing as well. Like, one thing I can say now confidently, I can whack out annual review reports like it's nothing. So yeah, it's been a really positive year. However, here's where I get into the burnout side of things. When I got into the month of probably August to about October, I was extremely burnt out, like to the point it was like it was just all too much. And that's why I had to kind of take a break from my ASYE. I had to just stop with my end of year critical reflection. I just had to stop everything and focus on work, because there was just a lot of changes happening in my workplace. My caseload was just crazy. There was just so much to do. And at the same time, I didn't even have annual leave for a good few months. I think I had officially taken annual leave, apart from like toil and a few hours here and there. I had officially gone about May, June. I probably went about 4 months with no annual leave, and I was drained. Burnout is a real thing in social work. Like, take your holiday, even if you think you don't need it, even if it's a day. Take time to rest, because as you know, we can't predict when things are going to happen that's going to require us to have more time just working and more time doing even incident reports and all those kind of stuff. Like, it was just a crazy few months for me. But I took a few months out to travel, celebrate my birthday, and just rest and just, you know, kind of re-energize myself, take some time to just, for me, I just took some time for me, and you know, I got through that period. But it was really hard, hence why I wasn't really filming. I wasn't on YouTube, you weren't hearing from me. Social media was like I was like, no, I need to focus on myself, I need to focus on my well-being. And yeah, but I'm gonna help you guys, because you know I'm like your virtual sister kind of thing. So I'm going to help you guys a bit, especially for those of you who are approaching your ASYE, haven't yet done your report. At some point, I'm not going to give you a time frame, because if I give you a time frame and I don't stick to it, some of you are going to be in my DMs like you already are cussing me, you know, like, where's the videos, like, where are you on my TikTok? Like, you're on TikTok but you don't want to be doing content. So I'm going to create like some sort of Word document where I can, like, what I'm going to try and do is give you examples, because when I was doing my ASYE and I had to do my end of year critical reflection, you're going to go through Google, you're going to go through all of that, and there's going to be no help unless you've got an amazing what are they called, ASYE lead, that's going to give you loads of things. Like, mine was really good, like, she was good, she did give me an example, but it just wasn't really relevant for me. And like, I had a few friends give me the examples, and that's kind of how I got through mine. essentially, because when it came to writing my end of year critical reflection, I was just like, where do I start? Like, what format is it supposed to look like? And bear in mind, if you're doing your ASYE, as in you're going to be submitting it next year, or from now. So in September of this year, the whole documents for the ASYE and everything actually changed. So those of you who haven't looked, it will be worth maybe typing in ASYE documentation, then it takes you to like some university link that they use, and all of that's changed now. So whereas I've done mine on the old template, you're going to be doing yours on the new template. But as I said, I'm going to try and create something via Google Docs that I can like put in the link below at some point, and you can kind of look through to see what to expect. But don't panic. My only advice, now that I have finished and I'm officially past my ASYE, the only advice would be to start your critical reflection early. I mean, your supervisor is going to be telling you, oh, do your observations. Your observations you can actually technically do in a month. Like, your observations, maybe do the first one and then do your critical reflection 6 months in. I would advise anyone to do, because when it comes to the end of it and work is going to be fast paced, you don't know what your caseload is going to be like, you don't know what's going to be happening. The last thing you want to be doing is rushing. And like me, I was not trying to go over the year to finish my ASYE. I wanted to finish it in the year and I wanted to just be done with it, and thank God I was finished. But overall, apart from that little burnout experience I had over the summer and leading into the autumn, my ASYE was really positive. I learned a lot. I still don't feel like I needed to do it, but saying that, the criteria is becoming now that you need to have at least 2 years post-qualification, and if you have your ASYE, you're more likely to get employed. But then saying that, there's such a need in social work. I'm not telling you to not do it, you make that decision for yourself, but I'm happy that I've done it so that I can just say I've done it and I don't have to think about it again. And when it comes to me moving forward in other roles, then at least I've kind of got that behind my belt. But leading into the new year, I've really been reflecting about what I want to do next, other roles that I'm thinking, I'm considering, and there's another video that I'm going to make, and I'm going to speak all about this, which is in terms of like international work and working as a social worker abroad. Because you know that you don't just have to be a social worker here, right? You know that you can do like humanitarian roles, international roles in social work. You can take this qualification so many places. Like, the world is your oyster card. It just depends about what your goals are, what your aspirations are, and what you want to do. But that is one of my aspirations, to travel and use this qualification in other places in the world, not just in the UK. But I will speak about that in another video. But yeah, I think at the moment, I think it's been a positive year for me. I can really see what my strengths are. Yeah, I've really seen some new strengths that I didn't know. Well, I kind of knew I had them, but it's really like come to the forefront this year. So like in terms of like my analysis of young people, children, family, foster carers, like my analysis has really been sharpened this year, especially when it comes to having to make decisions, when it comes to things going wrong, when it comes to children missing, or there just being various incidents that I've had to deal with this year, as you would do as a social worker. Yay. But yeah, and just my child observation skills, like I always knew that was an area of strength for uni, but this year I've been able to say, do you know what, like if I can really build solid relationships with children, families, foster carers and stuff, I can make those little observations that help placements. But yeah, looking into the new year, I will be thinking about, you know, different roles, because I think, I'm not trying to say too much in case someone watches this video that it has employed me, but anyway. But yeah, I'm trying to consider different roles. Like, I'm considering access and assessment, only because I kind of want to just sharpen my assessment skills. I kind of just want to do something new, and I think I'm leaning more towards like working with children and families for shorter periods of time. So like, whereas I wouldn't go back to a looked after children's team, I'm considering that maybe, I think it's 26-week assessments and stuff like that. So that's just kind of what I'm thinking for the new year. But if I had to give 3 positives of my ASYE year and I had to give 3 negatives, I would say, oh actually that's a bit much, but let's see how I go. So the first positive is it gives you an extra year to develop you it gives you an extra year to figure out what it is you want to do, and it gives you another protected year. Although I argue, and every other ASYE student would argue, that you're the social worker, your name's attached to it. Yeah, even though your ASYE is attached to that little email or whatever, people don't really acknowledge it, but it gives you a bit more autonomy, I would say, a bit more to go to your manager and be like, I'm an ASYE, you know, kind of thing. So I would say that would be my second positive. And my third positive of the ASYE is, I guess it's just like, it gives you a little stepping stone when it comes to just your future aspirations, wherever you want to go as a social worker in your career. When you're applying for jobs, they can see, okay, you've been willing to commit to another year of work and study, whatever they want to call it. Yeah, if I had to give 3 negatives though, I would say number 1 is, although you are on your ASYE year, it's often not acknowledged, because at the end of the day you are case managing and the responsibility is on you to do what you need to do, and you're the social worker, so yeah, it's on you. Another negative I would say is, I mean, I didn't mind it, but then across the board of other ASYE students that I was doing my ASYE with at the time, I think just the lack of supervision and support in some areas. So whereas, although it's like you know what you're doing, sometimes it is like you have to kind of push for that extra support and to be like, yeah, I do still need support in this area. Because even if you're not on your ASYE, as you go in your journey as a social worker, you're going to continually need support. Like, no one is at the top of the hierarchy. No one knows everything. Do you know what I mean? There's always something that you're going to be learning, an area that you're going to be developing in. So I think sometimes supervisions, they would focus more on, okay, although it's about the work, and it's about the work, but it's also like, how can we speak about my personal growth? How can we measure that instead of this is what's happening, that's what's happening? But then at the same time, that's social work, and it's also about you setting time for you and to make sure that you're achieving those goals that you've set for yourself, that you're developing in areas that you wanted to develop in. So like, my biggest area at the start of my ASYE was, I just wanted to become more confident. You know, I felt that when I finished, I was so overstretched by my masters, that fast track masters, and then going into lockdown. It was just a lot at the time, and I just felt like I wasn't really confident, and I wanted to really just give myself an extra year to just boost my confidence, to move into roles that I would need a bit more skill in, a bit more time in my social work journey. And that's what I feel like I've achieved the most. If I had to give a last negative, I would just say maybe lack of resources. Like, as I said, when I was searching for examples, and you know, it depends on your learning style. Some people can just be told something and they can do it, but my learning style is, I'm a visionary learner primarily, so I need to see to know what I'm doing. So it's like, if I don't have something to see, and that's my learning style, it's going to be hard for me to kind of have to do it. So like, when it came to actually finding resources, and you know, thankfully I have amazing friends and, you know, peers at uni that I could reach out to, and like a good supervisor that gave me an example just to say, this is what it looks like, this is what the format should look like, that it helped me to finish it, and finish it much quicker than I would have. But then at the same time, I think when it comes to resources, there's kind of a lack of it. Like, I'm telling you, go on YouTube, you'll type in ASYE examples of this, and what you're looking at is examples of years back. Not that it can't help, but then now, September this year, all the documents have changed, so where are you going to be finding examples? But you know, don't be afraid to reach out to those who are around you and be like, you know, I just need an extra helping hand, I just need some support. Have you you know, some people are a bit funny about it actually. They're like, you know, those people are like, I don't want to share my work. You're not really sharing your work if you're just showing me. You can hold on to it, boo, just show me the paper. But yeah, overall it's been positive, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the new year and what the new year is going to bring for me in my social work journey. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in my next one. Some of you have been requesting some videos, and I will be working through that during the end of this year, filming those and trying to get a few more videos out coming into the new year. But yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.